welcome to the weekly review with Serak. I am Sean the Key here, and of course, I am joined along with
And it's your boy Serak, the Mike. How we doing?
pretty good, man. Pretty good. It's another day in beautiful Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Sun is out, people are out, masks are off. You
Yeah.
know,
Wait.
it's
So I don't get it. So you don't have to wear a mask, or you do?
well, see, isn't that the question though? If you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask.
Okay.
But if you're not, you're supposed to wear a mask. But everyone's using the honor system. So I mean, it's one of those things. Is like, did you get the shot? Yeah, I got the shot. And then two says later,
Yeah.
man, I ain't get no fucking shot. What you talking
Exactly. The
about?
honor system. That never works. Can you imagine? Like that's like someone coming up to you like, "Hey, you were walking past, and I noticed it was like a stack of $50,000 on the ground. Did that happen to be yours?" Nah, man, it's not. Yeah, right. Come on. You know where we at? This ain't no honor system. Shit.
I know, man. I was like, are you kidding me right now with this bullshit? And here's what's gonna happen. And I know it's gonna happen. Even though
Mhm.
DeSantis has outlawed vaccine passports or whatever,
Which I'm
what's
kind
gonna
of upset
happen?
about because I'm fully vaccinated and I would love to have a vaccine passport just to
That's what
flex.
I'm saying. I went and got poked. I didn't get poked for no
Right.
damn reason.
Exactly.
I want to be a part of the in crowd.
Exactly. What I'm worried about is like a year from now, they'd be like, yeah, so basically, if you got fully vaccinated, it pretty much didn't do anything. Like, I don't want to be like on the ass end of I didn't have to do it anyway. But, I guess I'd rather be safe than sorry. It, could
I,
you like,
I, this is go ahead.
could
What
you
you
like,
saying? Go
could you
ahead.
like correlate like, and I know this probably doesn't even make sense, but you have people that are vaccinated, right? Regardless, they're vaccinated just to be rather be safe than sorry. And you have people who are against it and are not vaccinated because for whatever personal reasons. Could you compare that to like people driving around with like car insurance versus people driving around with no car insurance because they think
You
they
really
won't get into
could.
an accident,
You really
right?
could because I mean, it's all the vaccine is an insurance policy. It doesn't
Yeah,
completely stop you from getting the virus at all. It's just, hey, this is a way to keep you from really getting it. And if you
right.
do get it, it's a way to keep you from getting really sick. It's nothing. It's not
Exactly.
and passing it on. It doesn't actually stop you from getting it. And
Exactly.
so that's a big misconception. And so it's just like insurance. It's
Yep.
just insurance. So if you're
Yep.
walking around without without the vaccine, which full disclosure, my wife doesn't have it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But if you walk, but don't say it yet. But if you walk around without it, then you're an insurance liability to everybody else around you because you can kill. Say you're in a group with 10 people, okay, you and 10 other people. Out of that 10 people, three of them see no sorry it's a 96% or whatever bullshit number they came up with.
Mm-hmm.
So four of those people out of that 10 is going to get sick. One of them is going to die. That's because you decided not to get vaccinated. That's how insurance works. Same thing when you're driving a car. You're in a car, you got four of the cars around you, you driving road trip or whatever, you're fine. You think, okay, I don't got insurance, but as long as I drive my car the right way, I'm good. The other guy next
Yep.
to you, he don't give a damn, and he's coming to your lane.
Now I
That's
feel like I
that's
have to ask like people who aren't vaccinated, like, are you vaccinated? Like, no. Like, you got car insurance? I'm like, no. How did you know? Are you following me? Did you steal my identity? How did you know? Like, it's just a
yeah.
hunch. Just a hunch. Um, but yeah, man, that's it's confusing. But like I said, you're fully vaccinated. I'm fully vaccinated, so I don't really care about
And
what's going on with everyone else.
and yes, it's up to you, and it's up to you to make your own informed decisions. And I get that not everyone's going to take the vaccine, not everyone tonight, and it's not going to work for everyone. I get that,
Right.
but the majority of Americans can get this shit and need to go
Right.
get this shit. So
And
look at
then
it as fucking normal.
they were saying how we have like, I mean, I don't know if it's still true or not. Like they have like an abundance of vaccines to where like, because not, you don't have to take it, so they just sit there or they go bad or whatever the hell, and it's like we have
Yeah,
all this extra vaccines, and then like other countries in the world like are still like in day one type stages. So it's like
and
just give it to them.
I
I
mean,
think they just did that like recently, but
it was he just well, I think it was Monday
mm-hmm,
or over the weekend. One, he sent out 3 million.
mm-hmm,
When I say he, I'm talking about Joe Biden. He sent out 3 million vaccines to other countries. Um, this is
hey,
after the EU, even China has already sent out their own vaccines back in like January and February. They already sent out hundreds or millions of cases of vaccine
Mhm.
compared to us, where we're supposed to be Mr. Top Dog, in the park. We
Right.
waited till we took care of not even everybody. We waited till we got enough for people here, and then we're like, okay, we'll ship it overseas now.
Like, can you imagine being like in a third world country, just watching, well, if they got news, you know what I mean? Like, just watching, like, the world news and like, oh, America has an abundance of vaccines. They don't know what to do with it. People are like frisbeeing their vaccines in like the ocean and stuff.
I
While
mean,
you,
think
while
about
you
it.
like are like a 3 month wait just to even see a doctor.
Well, could you imagine being in like an African country? Because
Yeah, I can imagine.
African or Central American country. Yeah, I like that. But
Brother.
and you're sitting there watching all these Americans, black, white, purple, whatever. I don't care what about that part, but you're watching all these Americans. You're
Mhm.
saying, no, the vaccine is going to give you this, or no, the vaccine is going to give me COVID, or 5G caused COVID, the vaccine is going to make it worse, or it's going to give me a computer chip. And you got people in Africa like, look, I've just lost my entire
Right.
family.
I'm avoiding measles,
Give me
all
your
types of
give me
outbreaks.
your stuff. Yeah, give me your vaccine. I mean, people are spoiled here.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm spoiled as
Spoiled.
hell.
They don't understand how things can get really fucking bad really quick. Really quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I know, right? Like, look,
we don't have.
look at the, that whole pipeline hack and people freaking out about gas. Like, what the fuck?
As
Like,
a
we're
matter of
like,
fact, that's one of my what the Floridas. The guy
the,
in the
the,
summer,
oh my
uh,
God.
and the guy who filled 4 bags of gasoline in the summer, dumb ass.
Like, especially the ones in Florida. I was reading, I mean, I don't know if this is true, but they were saying, our gas comes from tankers or some shit. Like, it has nothing to do with the pipeline, basically. But,
Right.
People are, man, they freak out. I'm like, what are you going to do with all that gasoline? Like,
Yeah, and that's like, and I saw the thing, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna panic because
mhm,
there's gas stations here, there's gas stations there, where even if there's a gas shortage, a
mhm,
few days it'll be back to normal.
right.
Even though they're saying, even though the news report said, oh, they said it could be a month or 2 months before it comes back to normal. I'm sitting here thinking, this country has tankers everywhere,
Mhm,
everywhere.
mhm,
What am I worried about a pipeline breaking when,
right.
okay, I may have to wait an additional week and pay an extra 30 cents in a gas price, but at least I don't have to worry about my garage becoming
Right.
a disaster area if I go out there and light an incense or something.
I mean, I see if you were like a small business owner, like say you own like a lawn care business or something like that, where I mean, your livelihood is based off of, your vehicles and equipment being able to run. So that I understand, right? They should be able to, be the. I mean, it's not a
But
shortage,
they
okay?
already
It's not
have that
like
capability though. I mean, a lot of those guys
right,
already have like huge gas tanks, either in the vehicles or on their trucks, so their equipment is ready.
just in
They're
case.
not sitting there. Yeah, they're not sitting there waiting to watch the gas go up and down. They're like, no, I got a job to do that. So on Monday, I got my gas for the week.
Listen,
I,
I listen. I got a nice bike that I'm ready and willing to get on and ride around town. I mean, I live 5 minutes from work. 10-minute bike ride, pretty much. I mean, I'm not tripping. I mean, I can't speak for everybody else. If you got to drive far, then go figure. But like I said, we're in Tampa. We really don't have to worry about that. But I just hate how that news kind of like spreads
yeah,
over here, and
yeah,
people who don't know are freak out all the freaking time. Oh, you froze a little bit. I think you froze a little bit.
I did. Oh,
Yeah, you got that face like whoa, like you like kind of shocked
well,
and yet
why
whistling.
why unfreeze?
There you go.
So how are you doing? How are you doing there, partner?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Let's see. Oh yeah. So about a week ago, I tried to switch to like a vegetarian or pescatarian, whatever diet. Nah, I don't know why. I think I was just
Welcome to my life.
yeah. So because Paige, she's been that for a while now, and
It's expensive, by the way.
that too, and it's really hard to like figure out what to eat. And what what I mean by figure out what to eat, like from a standpoint of going to the gym all the time and needing a lot of like protein and well, I mean, there's protein rich, like you get beans, you can get
protein and salmon and
yeah, but
the dark fish.
I know, but you can't eat salmon every day. I can't have beans and lentils every day. I don't feel like going out the way and buying vegan powdered protein. So it was tough, man. I enjoyed it for the week it was. Okay. But yesterday morning,
The week of that was.
for the week it was. Like I could tell my body was like, yo,
That was a
what
hard week,
happened?
huh?
Yeah, my body must have thought I was a prisoner or something. Like, yo, why are we eating tofu and salmon and beans? Like, did you move to another country? Like, no, I just tried something new. So yeah, man, yesterday I got a burger and it was delicious. And I don't regret it, you know. But I'm proud of myself for stepping out there, trying a new diet. And for the longest time, I thought vegetarians could eat fish too, but they can't.
No, 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 no.
They just don't eat animals, right?
Okay, so you have different because your boy has done this, so that's why I know. So you have different levels. Yeah, that's
Okay.
why I just spilled juice all over
There
the
you go.
place.
Drool on yourself a little bit.
But so you have vegan, you have vegan and vegetarian.
So vegan pretty much has like a rabbit diet. They just eat
Yeah, so
leaves and
vegan
sticks.
is if there is any kind of animal byproduct in it,
Mm-hmm.
milk, egg, whatever, they don't
Mm-hmm.
eat it. It's out.
I'm sure they mess up every now and then.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
oh shit, what was in that?
I mean, there's some seriously diehard ones who I'm sure who say they don't mess up, but I think even them, I think even
Yeah.
they probably mess up at some
Yeah,
point.
because who's gonna catch you?
Yeah, exactly.
The vegan paparazzi taking photos of people eating steaks? Got them.
It, it's a very strict diet. I mean, it really is. It's a very strict diet. And then you got vegetarian, which
Mm-hmm.
isn't so strict, which is, hey, I don't
Hey.
eat meat, but I still eat eggs and cheese. And that
Yeah.
doesn't sound like a big thing, but it really is. When you think about how many things have eggs and cheese in it, when you're not in that situation, you don't think about it.
Yeah.
But when you come to that point, you're like, oh, wow, there's a lot of things in eggs. I mean, there's a lot of things that have eggs in them, a lot, or some
Cake,
kind of
dairy
dehydrated
product.
meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, so much. So when I was doing it and I had to go grocery shopping for it, you spend the first week just trying to figure out how to shop for this thing.
Oh,
Because
I thought you were gonna say like you spent the first week crying. Like, oh my god.
oh no, you do that too. But that's on the inside. That's on the inside.
Right.
Your
Just getting
body
angry,
is
like
yeah, yeah. Your body's like, you suck, and you're telling your body, yeah, I know. But
listen, you want
yeah,
that six pack or not?
pretty much. So yeah, it's one of those. It's very strict.
Mhm.
Vegetarian is not as strict. A lot of people try vegetarian before they do vegan, but now
Mhm.
you got pescatarian,
Right.
which is basically vegetarian
But you can eat
eating
fish.
fish. And
Okay.
that's really the only.
But fish is an animal. Like
Yeah, I mean,
it got like imagine like I'm sure there's like a fish representative out there. Like, yo, I know we're ugly, okay, and I know we're in the water, but like you gotta respect us just like you respect puppy dogs. Like it's the same thing, kind of. I mean, you can train a fish, you can train um a shark, right? Can you train a shark? I don't know.
no, I've never
I
seen
don't
a trained
know.
shark. I've seen trained dolphins and killer whales, but I've never seen a trained shark.
Okay. All right. Well, pescatarian can eat fish. Sorry, fish. Hopefully, PETA one of these days kind of moves you into that category of don't eat or whatever you want to call it. And then what's after that? Nothing. Just a normal person.
There's no person. Well, you have people who only eat chicken, but I don't know if there's an actual name for that. Yeah.
Okay. Black
And
people.
and they're strict. They don't eat fish or protein. They just eat chicken. Yeah, and that's it.
Damn. That do sound like black people. I don't know if there's a name for these type of people that just eat chicken for some reason. They just all they do is eat chicken. It's not vegetarian. It's not pescatarian. What do you call it? Blackatarian? I'm just kidding.
Everything's a Tarian, by the way. No, everything terrifies you. Tarian. Everything terrifies you because you got to do this shit. But no, I don't know. It's healthy. It's good for you. Like my diet now. I don't eat red meat. As you know, I only eat chicken or fish, or vegan, but mainly chicken or fish. Um, but there's so many chicken dishes. I am so tired of chicken.
I'm sorry.
I'm so tired of chicken. I mean, I tell you a lot of chicken. 4 days out of the week is chicken. Maybe 2 is fish. The rest is no meat. Is a no meat day. So yeah. When you cut out red meat, you cut out a
lot of stuff.
huge chunk of your diet. So much. So like, okay, think about pizza. All right.
Right.
I don't know what you get on your pizza, but
Pepperoni.
most normal American gets a little pepperoni pizza. They're little quick pepperoni pizza. That's about normal.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't do that. I've got to now order a cheese pizza and
I
put some
know.
veggies on it,
It was terrible.
or yeah, or barbecue chicken pizza. It's like, and no restaurant, which blows my mind right now, does turkey pepperoni. Why don't you make your
Well, they don't
pizza
do
turkey
turkey
pepperoni?
pepperoni. You mean turkey sausage?
No, no, there's turkey pepperoni. I have some in my
Wait, there's
refrigerator right now.
turkey pepperoni,
Oh yeah, and I put it on
like
my pizza whenever I have it.
like
With
turkey
sauce
bacon,
and
but turkey pepperoni.
exactly, exactly. I mean, and granted, it's not exactly like pepperoni, of course, but it's a good alternative to nothing.
Actually, no, you're right, 100%. Because we had cheese pizza while I was trying this week of vegetarianism, and I was just so upset because I never have cheese pizza.
I know,
Like
right?
I was working Saturday night, and our manager,
Right.
because it was a busy night, and he treats us sometimes. He'll get pizza for everyone because he knows we've been working all day, and been kind of groggy. But anyway, we got pizza, a couple different boxes, and like one box was pepperoni, one box was pepperoni sausage, one box was ham. I don't know, and then one was cheese. And I'm just like, I was just so sad because nobody went for the cheese because I had to go. You know what I mean? Like you could just see the pain of the cheese, just
Yeah, just sitting there.
not one piece is missing. So I
It's
ate two
getting
slices of
cold
cheese.
and it's curling by itself.
Yeah, cheese pizza is weird, man. It's just literally just cheese and bread. Like
Cheese
it's
bread.
like
Here's some tomatoes on top,
yeah,
underneath if you really want something. But that's all it is, really.
yeah.
Cheese and
Cheese
bread.
pizza is like the leftover pizza. Like
Yeah.
at Pizza Hut when they like have too much ingredients, like I guess we can make a cheese pizza, whatever.
I mean, technically, you can leave a cheese pizza out overnight and still eat it because once the cheese
Yeah,
is cooked, you're good. So it's kind of funny.
yeah. So that was sad, man. It was the worst pizza experience I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, yeah. So, man, what was during your week
Mhm.
of of vegetarianism or pescatarianism? What dish did you like the most out of the whole thing?
I think the first day. The first day is always the best day because you automatically go get salmon for some reason. You're like, okay, I can
Yeah,
eat. Let's say I can eat fish, so I can have salmon, tuna, and that's pretty much it. That's all you really know off the top of the head. So
yeah.
that's what I had. Had salmon, and then once you eat salmon one day, you kind of don't want to eat it the next day or the next day.
That
So
is true.
day
It
one was
is
easy.
as good as it is.
Yeah, but it's like a cake, right? You can't eat cake every day. You
Yeah.
just eat it every now and then. So yeah, definitely the first day was the best. Second day sucked, and then like I said, I caved in on the other day and had a burger, and I haven't looked back since.
But was the other day your worst day, or was like Wednesday the worst day?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably Sunday
Sunday.
because
Okay, so
like
like the other.
I don't know how to I didn't have time to figure out like what to make because I had to work. When you got to work and stuff, or you got you're on a tight schedule, like I don't have time to go to the grocery store and be like, oh, where's your asparagus and your non-fat yogurt and all this nonsense.
Yep.
You just grab whatever. So I pretty much lived on energy drinks, a couple crackers, and water on Sunday. Yeah, that was it. And I tell people, hey, yeah, I'm trying to pescatarian. So what you eating? Like I had an energy drink. No harm, no foul. Read this later, make sure.
But that's at least you're honest about it because a lot of people, and I say this because of someone who's done it. We'll open that refrigerator and there
Mhm.
ain't shit in that refrigerator. Ain't nothing.
No, the funny thing is, there's a lot of stuff in there, but there's
But
nothing in there. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And so you're like, and that's the base. You're
I was looking at the dog and I was like, damn, should I just eat dog food? Like I'm sure that got some protein in it. So
yeah, it's just protein powder and veggies. They don't give dogs any real meat anymore.
exactly. I would say this, and I'll let it go, but I'll say
Yeah.
this: if you do, in my opinion, if you do try to switch to a vegetarian, pescatarian, or vegan diet, try to, if you can afford it, I would go like the meal plan route to where you mail the actual food because 90% of the pain I feel like is trying to find what to eat, how to make it, and like prepping. That's it. Just
Coming up
have
with
a meal delivery service handle that for you.
the also the orange program, the one I was a part of,
Mm-hmm.
the one I'm a part of that I told you about. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the things is you have to come up with your own meal and bring it in, your own vegan meal. Um, and I literally spent a day and a half trying to come up with a meal for that. Not
Yeah.
because I was trying to make it something spectacular, but just because I didn't know what to make at first because I was just now going into it. So you're
Yeah.
right. The meal plan idea is it. If I would have been able to do the meal plans, the meal delivery service,
Hmm.
that would have made the first. I couldn't because it was new and I was new, but that would have made that first month or at least that first couple of weeks so
Hmm.
much easier
Yeah.
because a lot of so much thought goes in just that part.
Hmm.
You don't have time for anything else. I mean, you really
Yeah.
don't. You're like, what do I eat? And then you're sitting thinking like 2 hours, and 2 hours pass. Now it's like 9 o'clock at night, and you still have to eat anything.
Exactly. So it's like either, and if you don't eat anything, you're going to be groggy, you're going to be irritated, all the negative effects of not eating kind of hit you. And then last thing you want to do is like, oh, I guess I have a salad. Like, no, fuck that. I need three pizzas, three pepperoni pizzas right now. So, um, but
Yeah,
in other
yeah.
news, I was going to say, you had some, right? I kind of forgot where I was.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about Joe Rogan real quick.
Joe Rogan.
A lot of our listeners and uh, some of our guests actually like listen to his podcast and like
Yeah.
and I won't say like the guy because they don't. I don't think any of them actually know him personally, but they like his persona, what he
Right.
does.
What he's done for the podcast community.
Right, right, right. But not everyone's perfect, and
Right.
that's the case here. So yesterday,
Mhm.
and it kind of came to a point yesterday, but it's not like it's something that he hasn't been saying all this time. So
Mhm.
yesterday, Joe Rogan on his podcast with Joe List uh, made this statement.
Joe who?
Joe Rogan made this statement.
No, no,
So
no,
Joe
no.
Rogan with
Who's the other
and
guy?
Joe List was another comedian who was on the show with him.
Oh, okay, okay.
Joe Rogan says this was his statement. Joe Rogan says giving into the woke mob will result in straight white men not being allowed to talk.
Into
So
the woke, he said.
yes, giving into the woke mob will result in straight white men not being allowed to talk.
Mm,
So
okay.
I have a lot of issues with that statement, and I don't have an issue with Joe Rogan. I mean, when he did Fear Factor, I liked it. I mean, I liked him in Fear Factor, even though he was just a host. I thought it was a good show. When
Hmm.
he hosts the UFC, I think he brings a good deal of excitement to the matches.
Right. I mean, he's a comedian. He's a like you said, the host. He was the host of the Fear Factor. Remember that show?
Yeah,
He's done a
yeah.
lot.
He's done quite a few things. So, but to say that I'm just one of those people who just, oh, it's Joe, I'm going to agree with it. That's not me. And this is one of those statements.
Hmm.
He said some things over the years since he's had his podcast that allude to that he thinks straight white men are
Hmm.
being, what's the word I'm looking for? Not persecuted, but discriminated against. That's the word.
Hmm.
Uh,
Interesting.
I'm sorry. I think they're finally having to, and neither one of us are white, so I mean we're
Hmm.
talking kind of from our own perspective on this, but I think they finally just have to be accountable for their actions at this point. I mean, yes, you've always had,
Hmm.
for the most part, you've always had to be accountable for your actions, but straight white men have gotten,
I like how they
you
say
know,
straight white man.
I know,
It's so descriptive.
yeah, exactly. They've had a little, some leeway here and there, over history. The fact they,
Yeah, I
mobs,
understand that.
so
It. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
No, I understand that. Yeah, it's weird hearing it from him. You know, um, and I won't say I don't get what he's
I
saying,
guess
but
that's the
like,
part
I think
that's
a lot of times I don't think they're being discriminated against. I think it's just other minorities like are coming to light, like their issues are coming to light, right? So
yeah.
it makes it seem like their issues, whether you're minority or not, are more important than your issues, right? But I mean, what's the big ongoing issue with straight white men? Are they being like, you know, like what's going on? Are they being harassed by police? Are they being not chosen for jobs? Like I don't know. Like
So
what's the issue?
so he says this in response to Joe List, who was on the show,
Mm-hmm.
who was on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, basically, it was basically in response to a commenter saying, uh, "I'm ad libbing here," but in regards to being able to tell jokes or being a comedian.
Mhm.
that basically straight white men shouldn't be able to tell jokes because
Or like black
all the jokes
jokes.
offend basically all their jokes offend everyone around them, essentially. Um, which isn't true. I mean, you've got quite a few comedians.
Mhm.
Oh, the guy who's in rehab right now is going through divorce, John Mulaney.
I like him.
Um, yeah, you got what's the other guy? Oh my god, he's so funny, so funny. Uh,
I
he
mean, I get what he's I
he
like.
was on the Mandalorian. I can't remember his name right now.
Oh,
He had one. He had Bill Burr. Bill
okay.
Burr,
He's funny.
also hilarious. Yeah, and these guys they play into the PC role, and
Hmm.
that's how you tell a joke. So for this guy, whoever Joe List is, and he's not a well-known comedian in my circle. I'm not saying he's not a well-known comedian. He's just not someone that I know.
Hmm. You
You're
know the
complaining about not being noticed,
yeah.
but you're noticing all the other ones.
The funny thing is, like, I see what he's saying. Like, when you compare comics, like, black comedians versus their peers or whatever other white comedians, right? And there's certain. I mean, it's a different joke tone, and 100%, and I agree with that. But that doesn't mean you can't be a comedian. Or you can't, you know. I know plenty of comedians that like kind of straddle that line of. I mean, they're all offensive. They're comics. There's no comic out
Oh,
there who is
bro,
just going to be like, I'm not going to say that because I'm worried about the backlash. That's they
unless you're
kind of
telling
feed off
a
that,
dad joke, it's going to offend somebody.
and you also can't say you're being discriminated against when you just signed $100 million deal on Spotify. Name a black podcast host who has $100 million offer from any of those platforms. None. And that's the issue. It's just like you're saying,
And
like,
he's not the
hey,
most
I'm not
successful podcast out there. I mean, he has a
right.
great podcast, but he is not the most successful out there.
And he's just pretty much saying like, hey, I'm not getting a lot of not him, but whatever he considers us or his own community is not getting a lot of attention because other things are coming on light. And that's just that's I'm not he's not being a hater, and I still like Joe Rogan. I'm not going to hate him or like him less just because of that. But you know, it's it's never. I mean, you can even look at history, man. It's just how it is, man. If you feel discriminated against, then do something about it. But it's hard for anybody to feel sympathy for you when you are north of $100 million. Like, come
Yeah,
on. That's
and
like if Bill Gates said, "Oh, CEOs are getting discriminated against." It's just like, shut up, man. Your problem
yeah,
ain't the same as our problems.
it really isn't. And Joe knows this. He's been it's not like Joe came in rich.
Right.
Apparently he grew up rough and tumble like
Yeah.
us.
He's
And
built his empire.
yeah, so he knows this. He has friends who are not a part of this mob. So
Mhm.
I don't understand it. I guess that's him dropping his hints over the years is one thing, but him just come out and blatantly saying this, I
Right.
guess, but it kind of throws me. It's like, are you serious right now? When you really know how this whole industry works, that black comedians for a long time
Right.
had to say things, do things a certain way because if they told jokes the white kind of way, they were not getting on stage. So they
Right.
had to find their own way of doing things. Same with Latino comedians, same with Asian comedians. No one tells a joke the same way because
Hmm.
it doesn't come across the same way from the same person. Joe Rogan can tell
Exactly.
a joke one way, and Kevin Kevin Hart can tell the same exact joke, but because it's coming from a black man versus a white man, the joke comes across differently to the people listening.
Yeah, that's
Carlos
true.
Mencia is a good point of that. He stole so many other people's jokes allegedly, so many
Yeah,
other
I heard
people's
about
jokes,
that too. I heard that too.
and that were not funny to these that fell for these other comedians, but because it came out of Carlos Mencia and his mannerisms and who he was, the
Mhm.
joke landed, and the jokes were funnier that way. You know,
Yeah, and you also got to know your audience too, right? Like, you can't have uh like I'm trying to think like a Eddie Murphy or what's it, Richard Pryor, doing stand up
yeah,
at I don't know
Great
what's
on
a place.
Opry.
Yeah, or like yeah, something like it's not gonna be funny to them. Like imagine Richard Pryor in like China. Like I'm sorry, I mean I hate to be that guy, but they're probably not gonna think it's hilarious like we would think it's hilarious. So
No,
it's a different crowd, different audience. But like I said, man, I like Joe Rogan.
but
I think
no, comedy is not race based. No, there's no, and I hate saying race. Comedy is not ethnic based. It's not based on your ethnicity,
mhm.
but your ethnicity plays a part of comedy.
Yeah,
does.
100%.
Hear things differently than I'm going to. My son, okay, my son who is interracial is going to hear jokes differently than I am because he has two different worlds he's in. You know?
Right. Right. I don't know. I get what you mean. I mean, like that whole, discrimination against like straight white males. That's still funny to me. The straight white males, bald headed, over 45, but not exactly 44 yet. So,
yeah.
I mean, I just feel like that's a temporary, look at me, attention seeking comment, right? Because nobody was saying that 10 years ago. Nobody was saying that literally for the past 1,000 years where plenty of shit has happened. Nobody's ever like, but now it's like, other, my, other ethnicity, I can never say that word. Other cultures will say that have been voicing. Yeah.
There you go.
And the thing is, they've been voicing how they feel, and not only in America. I know this past year and a half have been kind of, crazy for everybody, but I don't know, man. If I was sitting on $100 million, I'd shut the hell up and just do what I was doing,
I know,
And if you're going to say something, be about it, at least, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Joe, if you really feel like that, then why don't you start a whole new, movement about straight white males and how they've been oppressed for so long and been running companies terribly.
He's worth $100 million. I mean, well, actually, he's worth more.
At least
he's worth $100 million. So he has the power and the money now to say, "Hey, I'm going to do my own Laugh Factory," which is where a lot of comedians came through. And don't discriminate, of course, but I'm going to make sure that these straight, make sure I say it the right way. The straight white men who come in there feel that it's a equal area for everyone. He can do that, but he chooses not to. He chooses just to use this one basic line to encompass an entire change in climate and just
and
as a whole. Society is changing. Societies have always changed.
And the thing is, like,
the reason why we were slaves for 400 years, the entire world enslaved Africans for 400 years. There's a reason for that. It's society changed to that. Before it was Jews. Before that, it was just if you were browner than any other guy. It's always a reason for it. But society's changed, and society's always changed to be better. So why hold that back? If that straight white man can only tell a joke about calling me the N-word or calling a gay guy a homo and the F word, then learn new jokes. Learn how to tell new jokes.
Be funnier.
Learn how to tell a joke.
Exactly.
Don't complain or whine that you can't tell your racist homophobic joke.
You can still tell. I mean, that's the thing. You can tell it. Go ahead. See.
And you're still going to laugh.
See what happens. Well, I'm not saying he's going to get beat up or nothing, but like, and the thing is, what's even like kind of a little bit scary is, people consider him, he's a public figure, obviously, well known. He has a very strong following. So it's like, man, when you are looked upon by so many people like that, you gotta be careful what you say, right? I mean, we can go down the whole Trump road with, this is our follower leader. Everybody, even with Elon Musk, right? A quick little tweet or a quick little this, and his followers are like, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. So I don't know. When you're in those type of positions, you kind of, I mean, you should be able to say, I mean, it's this freedom of speech, but like, still, man, you know what you're influencing. So yeah, man, I don't hate him. I still like him. I'll probably still listen, but this one I'm shaking my head on. Like, if this was the Breakfast Club, he'd get the donkey of the day.
Yeah, he would. He would get that statement. I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised that Charlamagne hasn't called that one out. To be quite honest, and
you never know. I think they're boys though, probably. If that was your friend, would you
coming from Alex Jones or coming from numerous other people, but for the $100 million podcast guy, and that's what he is. He's the $100 million podcast guy.
I know. I don't even know his real name anymore.
Is getting 100 million, or it's going to be like that. So to complain that you're not being allowed to talk when you literally just got paid 100 million to do just exactly that.
You think Spotify is like shit? There got to be like somebody that's just like, damn it. Or like we like a big company, you like sponsor some like athlete or something, they do something stupid. I'm sure like they're like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. How can we fix this? How can we fix this? Oh
behind
man,
the scenes, NBA, any NBA or Joe, what's his name? I forgot his name. Joe, not Joe Rogan, the other guy, Joe Buffett,
which
the
one?
guy that Joe, what's his name?
What
Joe
does he
Budden.
do? Joe
Yeah,
Budden.
he's right. Joe
Yo,
Budden.
Joe
There you go.
Budden. He doesn't do his podcast anymore.
He doesn't.
No, I don't think so.
See, and he was on Spotify. He was
Is
bringing
he?
people to Spotify, and instead of giving him a lucrative contract, they go to Joe Rogan. So you can't tell me white men are not being allowed to talk when things like that happen
Yeah.
daily.
It's still on here. I don't know if they have any.
You
Nah,
know,
dude. The latest episode, last episode was September 19th, 2020.
yeah. So that was right after the Joe Rogan contract went.
Yeah.
So
But Joe Budden's podcast, I watched a couple episodes or two, but see the thing is it's like when you're like already like known like him, like obviously hip hop artist, Joe Rogan, obviously he was known before he did podcasts. It's like you can just call up 50 Cent if you want to. Hey 50, you want to come on? Like, they use their star power to get star interviews, but like they're not all like built to do those. So like I'd be watching Joe Budden's interviews and he just like is all over the place, and he's like his whole persona was kind of like kind of like the Skip Bayless type deal, or the Stephen A. Smith type. And I feel like that works for Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless, but not for Joe Budden. Like you can only be that wild so many episodes before it's just like, okay, Joe, please relax.
Yeah. And he I guess because like Skip and
Stephen A.
and Stephen A, they didn't come out blowing fire. They came out just the consummate correspondent,
Right.
reporting the sports.
Right.
And then over time,
right,
they came out. Joe, he just came out full fledged. Hey, this is me.
Yeah. Joe Budden has a podcast. Like, who's Joe? Wait, you mean a pump it up guy? He has a podcast now?
No.
Oh man, I always wanted to know what Joe Budden's thoughts were on things, and hip hop culture. Like, I mean, he would know more than me. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like
now if Method Man had a podcast, I'd be all over that. All over.
And Method Man? Why Method Man?
Why Method Man?
Yeah.
Let's think about who he could bring on there. He could bring people like
Redman.
he could bring other people that he's done things with. And he's kind of crazy, and he's done some acting. So he's.
I mean, yeah.
He's pretty well rounded, so he knows.
But what's the last thing Method Man has done like that's made headlines?
He was in Power.
Oh, see, I never watched that show.
Yeah, he's the attorney in Power.
Method Man is the attorney in Power.
Yeah, it's
damn.
It's something.
It's so weird with like the career changes, right? I know Method Man as a hard rapper, and next thing you know, he's an attorney in a TV show. Like, what the?
Ice-T in Law and Order.
Yeah, that one. That I think this is Ice-T started this trend, by the way, where you just be a gangster rapper, and then next thing you know, you hosting the Emmys or something. Like,
you're already
What's up?
You are a self-professed pimp.
Mm-hmm.
No one say you were. You said you were. You're a pimp, and now you're playing a SVU detective.
Yeah, like imagine if Tupac was still alive, and they were like, and he was like the host of the Golden Globes or something. It's like, all right, I host let's go to Tupac. Yo, West Coast, West Side, Machiavelli, and now let's look at our picks for the movie of the year. Like, what the hell?
That's what I'm saying.
You a gangster. Oh man, but speaking of real gangsters, I mean they're not gangsters, but I was gonna get into the hot topic that's been popping off the past couple of days here, and that is the forever ongoing battle with Israel and Palestine, and things have gotten worse, but not as bad as it could be. So my question to you is, and you were in the military, so I don't know if you would know more than me. I don't know if they just tell you guys everything, but what is the issue with Israel and Palestine? If you could sum it up.
All right, let's see if I can sum it up pretty quickly. Okay. I'm gonna give 2 dates. Well, okay, we just start. And for World War I, I know it seems, but for World War I, Israel was a part of the Ottoman Empire.
Okay.
Palestinians were known as a nomadic people who pretty much they lived in that certain area.
Didn't they own Oh, that
but
land.
they nomad around that area. Yeah, pretty much they both owned it, and that's why it's been a situation. Israel
Mm-hmm.
never had actual land, whereas Palestine had a section of land and part of Israel and what is known as part of Israel now, and
Mm-hmm.
also other countries lost land to Israel too, not just Palestine, but Palestine lost the most.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was World War I. Well, then World War II popped up and everything kind of stopped. Well,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as World War II was over, literally 1948, as soon as World War II was over, the Israelis took over some of the military encampments
Right.
around Israel to then take control over, that part of Israel, which they used to force the Palestinians out from their part of what is now known as Israel.
Okay.
Right? So that was World War II. So
So
since
Palestine. So who had it first?
they both had it first, and that's the
Okay.
thing. Um,
50 for me,
so
50 for you.
yeah, exactly. So now fast forward. I'm skipping a lot of stuff here, obviously, but fast forward to
Jesus.
yeah. So for 70 years, roughly,
Mhm.
they have been fighting over this strip of land.
This is like a holy.
Actually longer than that, but in modern era, 70 years. But I mean, they've been fighting for thousands of years over that strip of land.
Uh-huh.
And it's now come to a point. It's now come to a boiling point where the Jewish people. Well, I'm not gonna say Jewish people. The Israelis say Hamas is terrorizing us. They're sending rockets. They're killing our people.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But then you also have the Palestinian people. Now, notice I'm not talking about Hamas, which is the terrorist organization who leads Palestinians. No, I'm
Uh-huh.
talking about just the Palestinian people. The Palestinian people are saying the same thing. Israel's firing rocks at us. They're terrorizing us. They're killing our women and children, and blah blah blah.
Okay.
So it's they're all complaining about. Both sides are complaining about the same exact thing. One's got more firepower because of U.S.
Yeah,
backing than
Israel.
the other.
They tiny, but they have a big punch.
Oh yeah, they got a big punch. I mean, and that's because of the U.S. backing. We gave them a lot of the firepower they have now.
So
The
basically,
Iron Dome system came from the U.S., which is the system they use that shoots down rockets fired at them from the Palestinian side
damn.
of Gaza. So we have helped them.
So if you
That's
Palestinian, you
why
don't
all that.
like the U.S. I assume
You know,
because we're
before
funding.
now,
We're
before now, yes, but now over the last, I'll say 5 years or so,
uh-huh.
um, with Twitter and more Palestinians being on Twitter, and of course, everyone's and their brother has a bot out there for whatever reason.
Right.
Um, you have these people who are now saying, well, yes, for numerous of years, Palestinians did terrorize Israel, but Israel, are you not doing the same thing when you're a much larger country with much larger firepower and you have the ability to go in and you know
Take care of business.
infiltrate for these sites
Yeah.
versus you're killing 100 and something people,
Mm-hmm.
innocent civilians. Come on, and then
I like that. That's what blows my mind. It's like you have these two groups fighting, but then like it's always like the civilians who have nothing to do with either one that always are the victims. You know.
and,
And I
and
and I,
the
and I
Palestinian
understand.
people they don't want Hamas terrorizing Israel because it causes them to get killed.
Right.
But at the same time, they don't want to be terrorized by Israel and
Mm-hmm.
have their land and their jobs and they keep. A lot of people say it's an apartheid state. I'm not going to go to that extreme because
Right.
South Africa was an apartheid state. Uh, but what I will say is that there is, an uneven balance there. I mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
look at there's an uneven balance there, and it's one of those things where you need to take a step back. Us as Americans take a step back and say, which side of this are we really on, or should we even be on the side and just let them deal with it?
But it's always about money and guns, man. It's listen.
Yep.
So and so backs this country, that backs that country, that sells that drugs to that country, that is in bed with the other country, that used to play basketball with this country. Like it's all like just one big cluster, And like for instance, if
Yep.
Israel wasn't backed by the United States, they would have been at war already with Palestine. Like I mean, like at war, not like just
Yeah.
little stuff
Yeah.
back and forth. And if I don't know who's Palestine's backed by, but I'm sure they got their boys too.
All, I mean, when you're
Pretty
surrounded
much
by
the entire
Muslim
middle.
countries
Yeah.
and you're a Muslim country,
Mhm.
you can, if you play your cards right, get the rest of those Muslim, the Middle East, to help you out, take out Israel. So it's not like they don't
It's a
have it.
cost. It's always a cost.
It's that's what I'm saying. There's a cost, and I think the cost might be the loss there of the Hamas power in Gaza, and I think that might be one of the reasons why they hold off. Now this is just pure speculation, obviously, but
Take us with a grain of salt. This is
yeah,
just from what I see from a 2-second documentary.
yeah. But I'm just saying because there's no other real reason. There's no reason that I can come to understand that says not do this because you are surrounded by several of the largest Muslim nations in the world.
Mhm.
All you do is asking for help, and come on, they don't like Israel. Well, as far as I know,
They would
they don't
help,
like Israel.
yeah, but they know
Yeah,
that it's Israel's backed by the U.S. So it's like
yeah.
you basically saying, "Hey, we ready to attack." So it's risky.
Israel it could easily be a World War III. It really could, even though
Yeah.
it's such a small strip of land. But because so many countries back Israel and so many other countries back Palestine, even
Mhm.
though they don't back them financially, they back the idea of what they are as a Muslim country.
Right. So does I mean I get that. I get that. It's
So it could easily be a World War III, easily. I mean, and I hate to say that, but if, especially right now, with you have civilians getting killed in the
right.
hundreds, you're asking for a full on conflict.
But
That's not what anyone wants.
what the funny thing is you know like you said, you have civilians getting killed in the hundreds, but like those numbers, like nobody, like I wouldn't say nobody cares, but you can send a better message if I was watching this show on psychology, some YouTube, and he was saying like, when we hear like of genocides and like, murders or mass murders, and we hear like, 1,000 people were killed or, 100,000 people were killed in this conflict. Like, yes, that's sad and it's a huge number, but you can't really relate to it. But what you really have to do is show like one Palestinian, like not getting killed, but like the death of some like little girl or something like that with a picture and everything. Yep. One person that would bring more reaction than just saying 100 people died or 1,000 people died, because people care about that lone individual versus a group. Once you group it, it's just like it's not. It doesn't really affect you that bad.
And that's one of the things. Like there are those pictures out there because Israel has shot schools,
right? Right.
Because they claim, I don't know if it's true or not, but they claim that Hamas hid weapons either near or in the school. So that's the reason why they shot the school. But normally, when it comes to like the U.S. rules of war, even if you have a weapon in that school, we're not going to blow up the entire school just for that one weapon because of all the children that are in that school.
I mean, they might do it on purpose.
Yeah, we're gonna go in with a scalpel and just take out the people and try to rescue the kids. We're not gonna just randomly kill kids because we're trying to take out a
some leader. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's a cost analysis. Yeah, we have the U.S. is not perfect. We have killed civilians,
all the time.
Conflict, but we try our best to make it as surgical as possible, especially from
yeah, because don't you have to follow the what do you call it, the rules of engagement? But nobody who's watching that? You know what I mean? Like there's no like guardian.
Those are trust me. When it comes to ROE rules of engagement, in the field, though you follow those.
So like, what if it's like
you don't want to end up in Leavenworth, and doing 20 years in Leavenworth is not any person's idea of fun.
So if someone gives, like for instance, for example, if like we're in a shootout or we're in some situation and the other side gives up, like I don't know how would you even judge if they gave up or not? They could have a sniper somewhere, but we'll just say in this scenario, like he gave a wave of white flag, like so you can't, according to the ROE, like kill them. You have to take them as prisoner.
Once they surrender, they're prisoners of war.
But what if you don't have like,
and then they're covered not just about RE, but they're covered by the Geneva Convention, and killing them constitutes a war crime.
Okay,
and that's even worse because then you gotta go in front of the Hague, and you may not even wind up doing prison time in America. You get up doing prison time in some Russian prison somewhere, which would be
So if the guy that gave up, say if he literally moments before he gave up killed one of your people, say a friend or something, you still can't kill him even if he gives up.
Not supposed to. Things
But you
have to
probably
go in
will.
order. Things
I
have to
mean,
go in
I
order. You're not
would.
supposed to.
I
I
mean,
would say you're not supposed
technically, I'm not
to
supposed to do this, but nobody's watching. Boop. Okay. And then if you're a prisoner of war, where do you go? Do you just go to American jail?
go to Guantanamo. Well, there's sites over. There's sites over in the Middle East that you can take them, but then you
Hmm.
can also bring them to Guantanamo Bay as well. But there are local sites in the Middle East that we can take
Okay.
prisoners of war. I
But
think
then, like,
that
say the war, if the war ends, are you free to go?
no, you're
What?
still because you're a war because you're a prisoner. Once you become a prisoner, you're a prisoner.
Yeah,
You
but
got
but we're not fighting anymore. Like, you should be able to go
no,
for
no,
free.
no. This isn't Cowboys and
Like,
Indians. This is you shot me.
like,
You're going to go spend some time
like
in jail.
imagine being in jail in another country, and then like, what you in for? Like, I'm a prisoner of war. Like, you mean the war from 10 years ago? Like, we're cool now. You can leave. Oh man. All right. I actually,
Yeah, but so, I mean, it's an ugly conflict. That's a quick,
yeah.
revision of it. But it's something that I think we're too quick to just back our. We should always back our ally.
Mm.
Full
Do you
stop.
think
We
it's
should
it's
always back
because?
our ally,
Do you think it'll
but
ever
we should
end?
not be afraid to question our ally either.
Oh yeah, but I mean, money's money. Nobody questions a drug dealer, even though they're in a trap house. Like, you know what? Even though I see guns and explosive, I'm just here for my drugs, and I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Here's your money.
True,
But the
true
reason I
statement.
the reason I brought that up because Sunday I was leaving work and I was hanging out with some friends and we were driving down Kennedy, a little street here, and we seen like a blockade of cars, like little trucks and stuff with all these Palestinian flags and like 20 people hanging out the side and stuff like that. So they were having like a little, not necessarily a protest, but like a showcase. So kind of made me think about it. But that's neither here or there. What else you got?
So moving on. And just for us, and from the weekly review, our thoughts are with the people of Israel and Palestine
Yeah,
because
from both. Stop shooting each other.
I mean, yeah, you stop shooting each other. Come to a two-state agreement. That's exactly what you need. You
Or
need
have
two
like
states.
a boxing match with your leaders. Like you get your president versus my
There you
president,
go.
and it was
There
just a
you go.
straight up boxing
Yeah.
UFC type.
Hey,
Whoever loses, that's it.
these two old men, and trust me, they're old men. Both
Slapping
want
each
to see you
other.
to your death. Send them to send them in the ring. Let them fight for it. Let them see
Exactly.
who get
Shit.
what.
Oh man.
But no, but yeah, but our thoughts, prayers, and everything else are really our hearts are with them because that's a horrible situation to be in to lose your whole family like that. Anyway, moving on. So real quick, because you said it, and I just will have to say it. So Bill Gates, we talked about Bill Gates last week. I just want to say
Billy.
this real, and we'll move on. So remember how we discussed Bill Gates and his loyalty to people and
Uh
why
huh.
he might be losing, how he lost it, how he had to sit down being chairman and all that.
Right.
So apparently, Billy Gates is a playboy.
Yeah, Playboy.
He a playboy.
Playboy.
Yeah, apparently, Melinda Gates has been looking to divorce him for a while now. So when he stepped down from the chairman as chairman of Microsoft, he stepped down. The reason why they gave us is because he wanted to be more involved in his philanthropy. He wanted
Okay.
the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He wanted to, uh, you know, be
Ball
more
out.
involved with them.
Okay. Be more involved.
But
My bad.
as of yesterday, a report came out on it was either MSNBC or I think it was MSNBC, one of the news channel. I believe it was MSNBC or CNN, but either way, you can look it up. Report came out that Bill
Bill.
used to
Bill.
use
Bill.
his power to
Uh
get dates from his employees.
huh.
And so he would go on these little. So whenever like his assistants or another employee would go with him on these little trips, or
Uh
even in the actual home company
huh.
itself, he was not afraid to proposition them at all for a date or for sex. Um,
Hmm. I don't
yeah,
believe that.
and it got so bad that the employee who was one of the employees who was at the center of one of the harassment scandals
Mhm.
is the reason why he had to step down, because she wanted Melinda to see the report on where Bill had allegedly, I mean, always allegedly,
Uh-huh.
had allegedly tried to sleep with her. Put it that way.
I don't see, man. See, I mean, I don't.
I know
Every
it.
time somebody gets divorced, every time there's speculation, every time someone has a
Oh yeah.
bikini Instagram photo or something like that, it's like, oh, because so and so was. I mean, it's Bill Gates, man. He can do what he want. Honestly, you with $100 billion or more, or however much he's worth. Like, I honestly, I would just do what I want. Like, no one would ever be able to tell me, like, yo, so and so did this. I'm like, and what you gonna do about it?
Yeah,
I literally will buy
as
your
long
whole
as it wasn't
neighborhood.
illegal, as long as it
Yeah,
wasn't illegal, I'm gonna pretty much do whatever the hell I want. I mean, you're a
yeah,
billionaire. Who's gonna say no?
yeah.
Who is going to tell you no?
It has to be like just an upper echelon to where you just like, yeah, and what you gonna do about it? you
That's
know?
probably and honestly, that's probably his thought process. And his thought
Mm-hmm.
process was, okay, so you want me to step down from my company? Okay, guess what? I still own the bitch.
Yeah. You would step down. You step down. I tell you what. Matter of fact, I would turn off everything in your house right now from this office here. It's just like,
But it's always funny though how these stories when it comes to divorces always comes out, and it's always the man is the bad guy.
mm-hmm,
That Melinda, and I'm not saying that she did or didn't do anything,
mm-hmm.
but how do we know? She's a billionaire too.
Yeah,
I mean,
she can go out and hang out with all
yeah,
the dudes.
exactly. And you think some dude's not going to push up against her when she's a billionaire?
Yo,
Come
Miranda,
on,
Miranda.
come on.
I heard what happened. I heard what happened. Give it like 6 months.
Hey,
She gonna have a new man. Give it 6 months. Linda Gates spotted out with
6
some
months. I
young
wouldn't even
hop.
give it a month. In just the Twitter announcement of divorce, you had over 100, over at least I know over 100 of the first reactions. The first reactions. Hey, Melinda, give me a
Hey, what's
call.
up?
Hey,
What you
Melinda,
doing?
what you
You up?
doing?
Bill, is Bill still there? I honestly, the only dude that could probably like snack her would probably be Jeff Bezos. Like, I heard what happened. He come in flying on the Amazon drone, just like, I heard what happened. Listen,
No,
baby, you always prime with me. Throw on the back of his jet.
I'm gonna get in trouble about this one later because I know I am. But oh, I can't miss saying this comment. Have you seen Jeff Bezos' girlfriend?
No, how does she look?
So he ain't going after Melinda. He good. If you're
What?
willing to lose over almost 100, well,
Lauren
over
Sanchez?
$100 billion for a woman, that woman better be like top tier.
Wait, who's his girlfriend? Lauren Sanchez?
I saw pictures of her.
Lauren Sanchez. Hold on, I'm looking at her now. I mean, I don't know. I guess she all right for him, but I feel like if I'm worth
Okay,
billions of dollars, like I would
I'm
just
saying this.
build a girlfriend, like somehow. Like, you know what? And I would call her
Bezos
Alexa.
messed up though. He could have stepped up even more. And when you look at Bezos' first wife and her, there's not a whole lot. They're both a very attractive women. So that's
Yeah.
why, he really didn't do a lot. Now, Bill, if you look at Bill and look at Jeff. Bill looks like he's a cancer patient that's coming
Yeah,
out the
Bill's like
hospital.
he's on his way out.
Yeah. Or Bezos looks like he's still, hey, I'm a billionaire. I party. I do coke.
You
I
gotta be
do it
careful though.
all.
Don't say it too loud because they listening somehow. Be
I
careful, Bill.
know.
Next thing you know, you're gonna get a phone call like, I heard you just talking shit. Like, who is this?
Everything is allegedly from the weekly review.
It's your boy Will. You know who it is. It's your boy Will.
Oh, allegedly.
Me and my guy Jeff are coming to see you. You better believe it. You better turn off Alexa too, because we know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I mean, who's to choose? I mean, I'll take $1 billion though. That's a lot of money.
You're gonna give me $1 billion.
That's like that's so much money as where it's like you don't really like think of it as money. It's like if
it's just a status.
It's just like how we think of like just breathing air. It's like it's nothing. Like it's always there. Like I'm not worried.
I mean, well, you can pretty much, and when I say, and I'll use the word pretty much very loosely because he really could, but you can pretty much go out and buy whatever you want as many times as you want. What is money at that point? I mean, really. I mean,
Toilet paper.
it doesn't. It's not going to get you happiness because it's nothing but a business. At
Yeah.
that level, money is a business. It's not happiness. It's not a cushion pocket. It's a business at that point.
I think he probably fights like boredom. I think that's probably the biggest downfall when you have so much money because you would just, I mean, you could do whatever you want, but like you don't, I feel like you would just be like, man, I've literally done everything already. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, that's why like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, like space is like the next frontier. It's like, all right, we did everything on Earth. What can we do on Mars or the moon? That's the next project.
Think like James Cameron. James Cameron, when he hit that $1 billion mark, he became a sea guy and built the toughest submarine in the world to go in the deepest depths of the world. So
yeah, like they want to be like, once you're like that rich. I mean, they're already in the history books, I would assume, but like, they want to discover something. You know what I mean? You want to be the Einstein. You want to be the Einstein. I can't think of nobody else.
And honestly, out of all of them, Elon Musk is about to close the one to Einstein out of all of them.
Yeah, but he's effing me. Oh, I was gonna swear, but he's screwing me right now, man.
Let's go ahead and move into Elon Musk. I mean,
so
we're talking about billionaires. Let's go ahead and move on.
Listen, man. So
the story you had about him.
I was so excited. I was a big fan of Tesla, and I was online on the list to get the Cybertruck.
When you told me about Tesla.
Yeah, it's the future.
But you told me about your site.
Yeah, I was going to get the Cybertrucks, the future, electric vehicles, all that great stuff, and I was like, let me do a little bit of investing. I just put some money in a little crypto here and there. And this dude, I don't want to say he has to stay in his lane because he can do whatever he wants. But last weekend, the weekend before he had the whole Doge coin baloney. But last weekend, he announced that they would be no longer accepting, I think, Bitcoin for purchases and something similar to that. I don't know the exact words, but basically, once he said that, the stock like tanked. Like, I think it dropped like 15 grand. But keep in mind, Bitcoin is $50,000-$60,000. So 15 grand is it's not like a 50% loss or anything like that.
4,000 the last time I saw it. I don't know.
Right. So he stated that that the environmental impact was too great from mining Bitcoin with all the electricity and power that's needed. So until that's figured out, that they won't be supporting or accepting just Bitcoin. Though he didn't say anything about any other crypto. Yeah, but I mean, from what I read, a lot of that is like renewable energy anyways, as far as like, I mean, when does he care about the environment so much? Man, this dude is taking up half of Texas, building gigafactories, whatever the hell that means, sucking up all the electricity. He literally makes electric vehicles. Like, come on. Come on, bro. He's supposed to be on our side. But anyway, so the stock dipped a little bit, and now it's just like, it has a lot of people in some type of purgatory, because a lot of people with Bitcoin, also a lot of are fans of Tesla, right? So now you're kind of at a crossroads, like, okay, this dude literally just cost me a ton of money temporarily. It could go back up.
I mean, if you think about it, if you had like the Palm guy, I can't remember his Pompano, whatever his name is, the Palm guy, he's a Bitcoin millionaire. I mean,
hopefully he sold this shit.
He's actually sold some of his Bitcoin for $2, but he's a Bitcoin millionaire. He had to lose at $15,000 a coin, roughly. They lost $7,000 the night of Saturday Night Live.
Right.
They lost $7,000 that night.
Right.
And then I guess it just kept going up until this other statement where it's like around 15 or so grand.
Right.
That compounded by how many coins you have, you lost so much money.
Yeah, but he still, I mean, if you had Bitcoin like last year, or even like halfway through last year, you still should be up. Like, you shouldn't be like negative or anything like that, because it's spiked like crazy. But what sucks is Elon's like the new like cool hip, like, he's this generation's like kind of leader. I don't know what you want to call it, but he's like the tech leader. He's like the Steve Jobs now, but like he has a Twitter. And
isn't that weird though, that we're now celebrating billionaires for being billionaires?
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, it's a weird world, man. It's a real weird world. But like, and the problem is, in my opinion, is like, you always compare tech with, you associate that with Bitcoin, right? That's, you think tech, computers, mining, all that crap. I mean, it goes hand in hand. So like, he was just like elected like some crypto leader when, in actuality, he had, none to do with Bitcoin. It was created. Now, the problem is the actual developers and creator of Bitcoin is, I forgot the guy's name, some was an Asian name, but
Oh, I forgot the guy.
he's like nobody knows who he is or she. They're like missing in action. Like it's completely anonymous. So when you have a new currency in the creator, I mean it's self sufficient. Don't get me wrong, but the developers and the creators, no one knows who there is. They need someone to follow. So everybody just gravitated to Elon, and then now it's just like, what do? I'm not buying no damn dog coin, whatever the hell it is, Dodge. I'm not buying money with a dog on it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's too volatile for me.
You got Doggy Coin, you got Shiba Coin,
Doggy coin, Shiba.
coin.
Yeah, we're supposed to be like a doggy killer. Like, what is going on right now? Wait, what? Wait. Let's just rewind like 5 years. Like, I would never have thought 5 years ago that I'd be buying not like coins that are not really real coins, but they have a value somehow.
Yeah, and what's kind of funny is unless you're uber rich. When I say uber rich, I mean you're like worth 150 million or more.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're in that category, you're not out there buying Bitcoins because it's too volatile. Your money could go at any point in time because,
right,
like you just said, there's no physical.
It's not regulated.
Even though they say the U.S. prints money, yeah, but it's still there's a physical representation of that money. Whereas Bitcoin is just a computer number.
Yeah,
that's all it is. There's nothing tangible to it. So, yeah, to think about 5 years ago that you'd be saying, "Hey, I'm going to take $300 and buy this coin that isn't even a coin. It's actually just a computer program. And it's not even a computer program.
Yeah.
It's a computer meme." I mean, when you think about it, it's an odd concept to say this is worth more than actual currency or actual money. To say that one coin is worth more than $1, $10, $50,000.
And where is this coin located? On a ledger or a digital wallet, or you can buy a hard wallet, pretty much. But it's just like, I mean, it's a new concept, but I think with millennials, and even Gen Xers or whatever they're called, Gen Zs, it's kind of the future, man. I still believe it's going to be of some way or form similar to, it'll take over eventually. Give it 20 years, give it 30 years, however long. We won't even be giving each other paper money. It'll all be digitized some way. And plus, you can't really get like stuck up and someone tell you to, give me a Bitcoin.
We say that as Americans, we really do. But there's so many other countries out there that uses coins, and I mean actual coins. I don't mean like coins. They use actual coins for things. Like if you take England or Sweden. So England, they call it a quip, or basically it's not a dollar. So like you have a one. You know how we have a $1 bill.
Right.
They have a one
Guatemala.
No, it's one quick or something like that. It's a short name, and they use coins as dollars. So $5 can literally just be 5 coins in your pocket. Whereas we're walking around with paper money, and it just got
lose it. You can get robbed. Can't get robbed a bit. Well, you can, but not by gunpoint. Well, you can.
England and India and these other countries, they're using coins, actual just coins with their king or queen or whatever printed on it. And
who should we put over the dollar today?
So, Japan, China, places like that, they use digital currency more than anyone else. But I don't see digital currency taking over 20 years, maybe 50.
Yeah.
But I just think that with places with
because
countries and then other countries that still rely on physical money, especially when they can, unlike us, where we have to have $5 bills or $5, they can literally just have 5 coins in their pocket. That's $5. That kind of helps them. That's easier.
I mean, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it can never really be 100% one way or not. But I'm saying this, man, like cash is slowly disappearing, man. Like I'm sure you have, and I definitely have been to a few places around town, whether that's a restaurant or some store, who just straight up don't accept cash. It's only credit.
I think it's dumb, honestly. I at the end of the day, I think it's kind of dumb because you're telling a whole section of people that unless you are good enough to have a check card, basically, you can eat or do anything in my establishment.
Yeah, but
And
you got see it as the same as like, before there were cell phones or cell phones were new, but now you can't even you can't buy a landline. I mean, you can, but like, there's no
I have a
payphones.
landline,
I
so
know, but like, there's no payphones. There's no, you know, you would have a different number for the same person unless it was like a work number. You would have two different phones. You would have a house phone and a cell phone unless you know, you kind of get what I'm saying. Like
no.
you don't really
Well,
use your. So when you give out your number, you give out your house phone or your cell phone number.
oh, I got myself, but I've always
Yeah,
been myself.
yeah,
Even
exactly.
when I had a house, even earlier on when I had a cell, I mean when they were both pretty equal, I still
Uh-huh.
always gave out my cell phone number because my
And,
house number was my private number.
and I do the same. So now the cell phone is way more important than a house phone. One, you got to be at home. Two,
Yeah.
it lasts long, better battery. You can do way more. It's like a computer in your hand. So, I mean, like I said, 20 years ago, people were laughing in your face like, "What the fuck? You got a what is it? A pager?" But I don't know. I feel like eventually I mean, digital currency or I say cash would be you'd see it less around.
Yeah, I do see cash being phased out, and honestly, see as much as we're trying to get Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill, I don't see paper money
Mm-hmm.
lasting like we
Very
think it's
long,
going to. Yeah, like
right?
I see, even though coins take up more space and they're heavier, I see coins being something that we go back to just because it's a quick and easy thing where you don't have to
Unless it
worry
costs a
about
lot
getting
to
this.
make them.
The
That's
cost
why
is
but that's why like digital currency is so cool because you don't
there's nothing.
you're not
You're
paying. They're
not.
not cutting down trees for dollar bills or you know
It's true.
melting copper for pennies or anything like that. So it's cost effective at least.
It is
I don't know.
cost
We'll
effective,
we'll, we'll
and
see.
you're right. I do see money being money. I do see
Money.
paper physical. I do see physical money being phased out. I just don't see it as quick as you do, but I do see it happening eventually. I do
Okay.
definitely see it happening eventually because it think about more people, not just Americans, more people are becoming more and more germaphobes. People don't even like to touch money
Yeah, money's
nowadays.
disgusting.
It really is. And now with COVID, you know how many people are using their phones to pay for things now and all that
Yeah.
stuff because of COVID?
This that Apple Pay. Oh my God, that shit is a lifesaver.
Yeah. So, things that other countries like Japan and China have been using for years, we're
Mhm.
not using more of because of COVID. And so it's gonna take over more here. Yes, there's gonna have to be who's gonna push back against it. But the vast majority is gonna accept it and say, hey,
Right.
paper. Like me, the only time I ever have paper money in my pocket is when I'm going to get me to the dispensary
Yeah.
or
Or drug deal. Is it? And even then, drug dealers are taking Cash App and Venmo.
they're taking cash out nowadays. Hey, which I mean, so it. I can definitely see it. You know,
All
maybe I'm
right.
wrong. Maybe it will be 20 years. Maybe
I
it'll
don't know,
be.
man. Then you gonna pull
I
up
mean,
to
hey, a lot
McDonald's.
can happen in 20 years. A lot.
They
I
like,
mean, a lot can happen in 20 years. I mean, it's been exactly 20 years since 9/11.
damn, it has, hasn't it? Holy shit,
So a
that's
lot can happen
crazy.
in 20 years. So maybe I'm wrong. You know.
All right, you can be paying for shit with a little dog on a coin. Like, yeah, I'll take that sandwich for one of these little doggies.
I sure would too.
Like, I don't know if we accept those, but I'll take it because it looks cool.
And I'm
Oh
gonna do it.
man.
I'm doing it in a cool, slick way too. As I back up and walking out the door, I'm gonna flick it. Here you go.
I wonder if like the prices of those, I forgot the actual proper name breed of the dog, have like skyrocketed up. The Shiba
Oh, it is an.
Inu, whatever. It's like a Shiba
It's not
Inu or something like that.
Shiba is the Shiba
Is
coin
it?
is an actual. Yeah, but that's not the. What dog is on the doggy coin?
It's
I have no idea.
my neighbor
I can
has
see the
one.
dog, but I don't know what dog is it.
It's a Shiba Inu. I can't. That's a hard word to say.
Susie,
Shiba Inu dog.
Inuzi, or
Yes, a
Inuzi.
Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu. I wonder how much they cost now. Probably stupid expensive.
Uh, last time I looked at Shiba, which was last summer, you're around like 1,500.
Hmm. All right. Oh, 1,500. Yeah, still the same. Sorry, doggy. Um, you ready for
No problem.
what the Florida?
Yeah, so let's do what to Florida.
What the
Before we
Florida?
do what to Florida, I just want to read this one little bit. I just want to read this. We don't have to
Oh,
discuss it. Just want to read it because I want our listeners to go check this shit out because this is stupid. So for our listeners, I'm going to read this next statement. The next statement I'm going to read is actually from the Q shaman, which is Jacob Chansley, which is for those who don't remember, the guy on January 6th who was walking around the Capitol with horns on his head.
Oh, the barbarian looking dude.
Yeah, the barbarian looking dude. Yeah, that's who that was. The next statement I'm going to read is a statement from his attorney. Now, this is his attorney, not his words, his attorney's words.
Okay.
So if you ever got time after I read this, you know what you might want to do with your free time. Just saying. Watkins, the Q shaman Jacob Chansley's attorney, said his client had Asperger's syndrome and indicated that Chansley's mental state and the impact of Trump's propaganda efforts will play a role in his case.
Hmm.
A lot of these defendants, and I'm going to use this colloquial term, perhaps disrespectfully, but they're all fucking short bus people. Watkins told TPM. These are people with brain damage. They're fucking retarded. They're on a goddamn spectrum.
Mm.
But they're our brothers, our sisters, our neighbors, our co-workers. They're part of our country. These aren't bad people. They don't have prior criminal history. Fuck. They were subjected to 4+ years of goddamn propaganda, the likes of which the world has not seen since fucking Hitler.
Huh.
So
interesting.
Like I said, we don't want to discuss it.
Who's this attorney? The guy from Arrested Development. You ever see that?
Yeah, I have.
Their lawyer.
It could be. I was thinking either that or Deshaun Watson attorney.
Yeah, he didn't do it. But all right.
I'm just saying.
Oh damn, you have to go hit Deshaun Watson. I haven't heard from him since. It's been a minute.
No, I need some news on my dude, man.
Oh man. Oh man.
All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and get to what to Florida.
All right. I'm ready, man. Born ready.
Do that for a second. So the first story, since we're talking about stupid things Floridians do when it comes to panic,
list goes on.
Do this one first. Florida man's Hummer catches fire after leaving gas station with 4 containers full of gas.
Jesus.
Yeah, 4 containers.
You got a Hummer?
These are not small containers either. Let's see if I can
pull up a pic.
Show it to you.
It's okay. I'll look at it.
A Hummer with 4 5-gallon containers of gas, called 5 gallons. So you're talking now, so people know we're talking about some island.
Yeah, I think of 5 milk gallons. So okay.
So people will understand. With 4 5-gallon containers of gas caught fire on Wednesday. Officials say the 2004 Hummer H2 had just filled up the gas cans at Texaco Food Mart on Cleveland Boulevard around 10:32 a.m. Within 10 minutes, crews were able to douse the flames. Fire rescue crews said one person was injured, but the person refused against medical advice to be taken to a hospital.
I don't have insurance. I'm okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
That is what I'm thinking. Like, how much is it for the hospital for the ambulance ride? Like, nah, I just put some Neosporin on this 3rd-degree burn. I'm okay.
That's what I'm thinking. The Florida State Fire Marshal is investigating, and the Florida Department of Environmental Protection was notified for cleanup. For further information, further information into the fire has not been released.
So he has well, I'm gonna say this though, because what year was the Hummer? 2004.
2004.
Okay, it was H2.
Yeah.
So I used to drive temporarily a Hummer. I was in between cars. I had sold my car. I still couldn't find a new one.
You had a Hummer?
So my mom had a Hummer, a yellow H2. You ever see Bad Boys 2 movie? Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. With the black.
A lot of people had those.
Huge car or truck, and with the black grill on it and everything. And that thing was a gas guzzler. So I can kind of vouch for the guy a little bit because you would need a lot. Let's see, 5 gallons, probably more than that to fill that thing. And it gets like 10 miles to the gallon too. So it's
the first one only got like 6 miles to the gallon.
Yeah,
the H1 Hummer 6 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, I used to just drive from gas stations to gas stations until I got home. Like that's how terrible it was.
I got $5.
Yeah,
my $5 is gonna get me over there. I guarantee to get me over there.
Yeah, because you put $5 in the Hummer and then you turn it on, all you hear is like a smirk, like really.
Yeah, I know.
We ain't gonna get down the street. So, but whatever.
Um,
But yeah, that thing was really nice.
I know I actually did like I like the H1s better, but the H2s are nice. These
Yeah,
H3s though, man, they look like little pickup trucks. I'm not a
I
fan.
know. It's like little like girl hummers.
Yeah.
Actually, if Elon keep talking shit, I might just get the electric hummer that's coming out. I really want the Cybertruck though. So okay, story two.
It
My
does
bad.
look like a beast. It does look like a beast. Second story. This one's good. Florida woman is accused of posing as student, sneaking into high school to promote her Instagram.
Clout demons.
A Florida woman was willing to go to some extreme depths to promote her Instagram account by
Mhm,
sneaking into a local high school and posing as a student, police say. Audrey Nicole Francic- Franciquini. Wow, I can't
mhm.
believe I got that right. Franciquini, 28. She's 28, by the way, so we all know she's 28.
Okay.
So this is
I
what you
mean, you could
do
probably if you look
as a
young.
student.
If you
Really?
well, I say if you're a girl, you probably can like look younger. Maybe throw some glasses on, like cover like as long as I could cover your face up,
I've
nobody
never
could
heard people
tell.
complain about girls looking younger. I heard people complain about girls looking too old than they actually
No,
are.
I'm saying, but you could a girl can make up, you know, can change how they look enough to where they would look like a high school kid, right? Because they're not. I mean, a man, for instance. I'm not trying to be sexist, but like, for instance, like you already got a full beard by 28. You look older. You got a deeper voice. You may be a little thicker than usual. Like you can tell that someone's like at least mid 20s. But a woman, not really gonna grow that much taller. Doesn't have a beard. Can still have that. You can make up a young high school couple years. You know what I'm trying to say.
Okay, but you're leaving out some assets here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that could be anybody.
I'm just saying you're leaving out some assets there.
Oh man, you better
Yeah, they
be
can be
you better be
anybody,
chilling
but
with
after a certain age, they start growing in a certain
oh
direction.
my god, I don't listen. I do not back anything he's saying right now. I like adults. Oh man. So this lady went to high
Okay,
school.
so Audrey 28 is now facing charges of burglary. What is she still?
Yeah.
Educational institution interference and resisting an officer after police said she blended in with students and nonchalantly walked into American Senior High School on Monday, according to a police report obtained by Oxygen. To
Okay.
carry out the ruse, police say the 28-year-old woman donned clothes similar to the high school students, carried a book bag, and entered the school holding a skateboard and carrying a painting. I guess the painting was
They
a
said
sticker.
that she donned clothes similar to high school. So basically she wasn't wearing a suit, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
After successfully gaining entry, police. Oh my god. After successfully gaining entry, police said she walked through the halls, handing out flyers promoting her Instagram account and asking students to follow her on social media.
Make sure you
She
tag me,
allegedly
dog.
took cell phone video of herself wandering through the hallways. I'm
Wow.
gonna show you a picture of the woman.
Did she even like go to the school in the past though, at least?
I'm gonna show you a picture of the woman. Uh,
Was she a former student?
Make sure I can see it, show it to you
And
without.
I didn't know you could just like walk into high schools though. Cause like, well, you used to be able to, because when I was in high school, I remember like we had to wear for my senior year, we had to wear lanyards, like our IDs pretty much around our necks. So like to differentiate from like someone who didn't go to the school, that just walked in. But before that, anybody can just walk in. But I'm pretty sure now with all this, these school shootings and all this stuff that's going on, that you can't just walk in there without like some form of ID.
All right,
Let me
so
see.
this is the woman. It
Oh
does
yeah,
say
that'd
woman.
fool me.
That'll fool you.
I mean, if she was like with makeup and stuff on and looked like a high school kid, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't like
See, to
I
me,
wouldn't be
to
like
me,
walking down the hall. I
that's
mean, and like assume that was like not a student. You could think somebody is like somebody that works there, or maybe like a parent, or a guest, especially if it's a big school.
all right. So one student told the local TV station that she had been recording video and showing off her Instagram account, which featured videos and images of her wearing a red devil's mask. It's crazy, the student said. It's very creepy. Police said Franciquini had stopped some students in the hall, preventing them from getting to their classes in what they said was a
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
pre-planned
on.
attempt to gain access to the school.
Yeah, like hold on. Where you going? Third period? No, wait, before you do that, you see this? Make sure you follow me on Instagram. All right, thank you, appreciate it. Oh, good luck at class. Like I mean,
Oh
like I
my
don't know.
god.
Like John, your mom is here trying to promote her Instagram again. I'm already subbed to her OnlyFans. I don't know why I got to sub to her Instagram too.
So apparently she didn't fool everyone. As she wandered the halls, Francis Queenie, Audrey, I'm gonna call her Audrey. Her last name's
Yeah,
Queenie.
just call her
Was
Audrey.
stopped by security while the other students were in class. But she claimed she was looking for the registration office.
Mm.
Rather than going to the office as she had claimed she would, she continued to roam the halls until she was stopped by security a second time, and they deemed her a potential threat on campus. So she didn't
Mm.
fool them.
That's good though.
She
No,
did not fool
that's
them.
definitely good. On their school security part because my school security, I remember they was just like you catch them outside smoking cigarettes, like yo, is y'all working or y'all working?
But in this day and age, you expect them to catch her, right? They
Mm-hmm.
didn't catch her. It states that she Audrey refused to stop for security officers and managed to slip out of the school by using a side exit leading to the faculty parking lot. She left
Mm.
behind an obvious clue to her identity, however, on the flyer she had been passing out, which listed her Instagram handle.
Yeah, what a dummy.
Uh,
But then again, that's why she's there. You know, and plus, I mean, is it really an escape? Do you expect school security to
so
hold you in a cell or something? You just leave, and they call the real cops.
this was this is the last statement I've got to. Oh boy. So two facts about her. She was once employed as a police officer in DeKalb County, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
That job ended in 2017 after she was arrested and accused of hacking into a fellow officer's social media account.
Mm.
Yeah,
So she
she was
just
accused
like
at
to
the
just
time of them posting new images of a fellow officer on social media. That's
damn.
one. That's one fact. Second fact. The second thing, she made one final Instagram post before she was arrested. I legit have I don't know how many cops outside right now of my house.
Mm.
I'm not going outside at all.
Oh, I thought she was gonna say I'm not going out like a punk. Love
Nah,
y'all. Peace.
no, no. That's story two. Her bill is at $2,000. So for anyone who
Oh, I got her.
knows,
That's it. I got her. Yeah.
$2,000, just $200 for it. Yeah. Anyway, story three. Oh boy. Florida man tries to steal a car at a gas station. Claims the car was carrying nuclear cases. This is his sixth time behind bars in nearly 20 years. One of which followed an appearance on Greg Hansen's show To Catch a Predator.
Wait, this dude was on To Catch a Predator, and now he's out and about.
Yeah, he was on To Catch a Predator. A man was arrested for trying to steal a car at a gas station.
You
Police
froze
arrested
again.
David Schumacher, 36, after the incident early Thursday morning. A woman told police she was helping another woman with a flat tire repair when she
Mm-hmm.
noticed her car start. The police said that's when the woman saw a man in the driver's seat of her car trying to drive away.
So he
Started
stole it.
screaming at the man to get out of her car. According to police, the man turned off the car. The man turned off the car and got out. Officers
Yeah.
at the scene said Schumacher told them that the car was carrying nuclear cases.
Like what if he was right though? You never
Said it
know.
with a
It
straight
could be.
face.
He could be right. I don't know. Nuclear case. Nuclear cases of what? You hear
I don't
me?
know how you say it with a straight face. I don't know how you say it with a straight face.
Because he's insane. That's how he says it. Because he literally believes that. And first of all, how is this guy out and about? He was on To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen, and they all are child molesters or sex offenders or both. And you even tell me like he's out and about being able to go to gas stations of all places? No. But then again, I feel like if you get arrested or if you go to prison for being a child predator or a child molester or any of those terms, like you pretty much have to be a career criminal after that. Like
Oh yeah.
you can't go back to normal life. No, you have to be like a Pablo Escobar or you pretty
You
much
can't have
chose
no
your
job no
destiny.
more because
No,
no one's gonna. You did what? Oh
like
no,
yeah, you did
no,
what? No, but you can't. You're not supposed to deny me. No, no, we're denying you. I'm so sorry.
yeah. I mean,
Actually, I'm not sorry.
yeah, not at all. Not even
Oh
close.
man.
All
Okay.
right.
So
Schumacher was arrested for attempted grand theft of a motor vehicle and burglary of a vehicle and burglary of a vehicle non-force. I didn't even know that was a term.
Yeah,
Non-force
some of these laws are
burglary of a
just,
vehicle.
they just make them up on the go.
Yep.
Um,
Those are the three.
all right.
Now it's
So
on you. First story
first
is
story. Hmm.
the
It damn. I think I forgot what the first story was. I'm so caught up in this.
Hummer with
Oh
no
yeah,
gas
the guy. Oh, okay, so
died.
that's a reasonable thing to do. This guy was just minding his own business. He was like, "Holy
That's
shit,
reasonable.
I got a Hummer." People don't know how much gas actually goes in this thing. So I'm gonna say, if I'm a reasonable Floridian with a Hummer, where do I live? Let's. How about like here? Because I live here, so I'm gonna say Central Florida.
It's central.
And
It's in Citrus County,
yes,
just above us. So
finally it makes sense. You know?
it's central.
Okay. All right. So one for one.
You got the
Number
Hummer.
two, the Instagram chasing student or mom, whatever you want to call her.
This one might be kind of easy.
Is it easy? I'm gonna say South Florida then.
Yeah. See, it is.
Here we go.
I mean, where are you thinking people trying to cut? I mean,
Well, honestly though, like if you didn't say this was easy, I would have guessed something else. You kind of gave me a yeah, because okay, all right, 2 for 2.
on me. That's on me.
I'm feeling good.
Will he get a third?
All right, Mister.
Get a third.
You want stealing people cars because nuclear bombs are inside? Where can you get away with some stuff? I mean, where would you be able to get out of prison as a sexual predator or child molester and still be out on the road acting a fool? Damn it, that's tough. I'm gonna say, I mean, just by process of elimination, I'm gonna say north.
So close, so close.
Central,
South Florida.
South. Whatever.
Yeah.
2 for 3. 2 for 3. I'll take it.
Yeah,
2 for 3.
Not bad.
I'm just happy he ain't Central because I can live here if I knew it was a dude that was on Chris Hansen's show running around stealing people's cars. Like, where you going with that car? Chuck E. Cheese? What do you think? Like, oh God.
Here's what's funny. So the first episode, first season, but the first episode of the show was done here in Florida. I think even somewhere near.
Yeah, there's some
South Florida, but it was done here in Florida. So
that's kind of, man, that's kind of scary a little bit, That there's people out there who are just obsessed with young children. I don't even know, is that even like is it even their fault? Like, is that just like a mental, like some type of disorder or disconnection? Because you can't be like a sane person and have that desire.
It's not their fault until they make an action on it. That's
right.
Until you start viewing images or touching kids or whatever that entails, until you start doing that, then I'm gonna tell you, okay, it's not your fault. But the moment your Google, your browser goes to kids.org or whatever,
kids.org,
you're pedophile. Boom,
yeah,
fault. You did it to yourself.
And the sad part is though, it's one of those things where like you can't tell anyone about it. Like you can't. I know, but like you can't. Like, how do you get help?
They have these little networks across the country.
Yeah, with other people similar to them, but like, how do you get do you even want help? I mean, how do you get help if you really are thinking like that? If you have that type of mindset, like you can't tell your family, you can't tell your friends. Yeah, but like, who do you go to?
A therapist. Like
Chris Hansen.
I'm not talking about just like a counselor. I'm talking about you going to a doctor with a master's doctorate who can handle this stuff. Who can prescribe you whatever you need to be prescribed and talk to you. Even if you need to talk 3 times a week, they'll talk to you. Whatever you need to do to kick whatever that demon is inside you that's make you like kids, because it got to go.
So where do you put like that, like child molesters on the spectrum of like, the level of
murder rapist?
I mean, up there. All right. It's a good way in.
As a person who had 2 kids, they're now adults now, but and a person who loves kids, you touch a kid, you deserve everything that's gonna happen to
you. Hey, amen to that. All right, man. Do you have anything else?
I don't have anything else. What about you, sir?
I am good, man. I'm actually that was quite a bit of time, but I have another flag football game in about an hour or so. So time to tear the field up. Hopefully we get a W. If not, then I'm just gonna lie and say we did.
Well, on that potential dub, this has been the Weekly Review with Sean Serak. I am Sean Keenan Torres.
And it's your boy Serak the Mike. See you guys next week.
Thanks.
Peace.